All right, so just wanted to, kind of get on here. It's been a while, so there's been a lot going on, and I just feel like maybe I should just go ahead and talk about some things here. Again, this is just my perspective. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Could be true in some cases. Might be false in some cases. So really, it's not about right or wrong. It's just about kind of thinking and just trying to find better ways to do things. Basically that's what I'm on. Trying to life can be tough. It's gonna be ups and downs. So I'm looking for just better ways to do things and avoid crash outs and people like that. The haters. But so I saw this. I
How are
wanted to
you?
time on.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
What are y'all doing?
They bow to show respect.
Now my whole thing is, would they actually bow to Black Americans like they bowing to this white lady? I say that because, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. Doesn't make it right or wrong, but it's kind of embarrassing to be seen on television with colonizers and the I guess the lineage of some slave owners, or at least racist white supremacists. So not that this lady is one, but it's just not a good look. And my whole thing is just, I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't ever do that for Black Americans, and if they don't, if they probably just do that for her. That's the other thing. I don't know. These are just questions. I don't even know if that's true or not, but these are just questions you can ask. And that's like I said, this is only for a few.
I ain't never seen nothing like that before. That was neat.
Thank you.
Are these kids literally bowing at my feet? My kids ain't bowing.
Now she acted surprised. Now is she really surprised, or do she secretly get off on that like some of them do? Not all of them, but some of them, which is sick. Hey, look, man. When people had COVID, they said, what was it called? Like you need to self isolate or something like that. Hey, what was that called? The pandemic is kind of a blur now, but it was such a big part, but it's kind of a blur. The self quarantine thing. So they told you to quarantine yourself and quarantine from people that are sick with COVID, and you got to do the same thing with these mental illnesses because they've definitely put some out there that aren't really beneficial to humanity. And just based off the numbers and stuff like that, it looks like when you hear go forth and multiply, be fruitful and multiply, they're not being fruitful and multiplying. So it's time to, if by their own, um, some of their own writers, survival of the fittest and things of that nature, natural selection. Well, nature is making its choice.
Bowing to nobody.
Titi.
She
Ni-
said, "I ain't bowing to nobody."
Titi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
I'm
That's the difference between her and them.
Nikki. Tolu. Tolu.
It's a
Taya.
mindset difference.
I'm
Hey,
Daniel,
Daniel.
and I'm David.
Nice to
Welcome.
meet
Nice to
you.
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
What you think about all
'Cause my whole thing is, why come over here to me? Well, I won't say why, but to me, if somebody come over here to be the minority and then be the minority in the country that somebody else built, white people that actually conquer them, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't. That don't seem right. Because like it seemed like they kind of traitors or deserters, thinking that nothing will get better. because it's be different if they come over here and then send money back and then go back and build up. They don't do that. They abandon the people. So it's a culture and an area where people just abandon the stuff, and then the looters come and got a different mindset and flip their resources that they couldn't flip, even when they the majority. We're not the majority over here.
All this.
So a lot of people, what they'll try to play these mind games with themselves because they're the majority over there and can't get it done, and then try to complain about black people being the minority over here and can't get it done. Well, you can't get it done either.
Thought you were.
Like I said, when they say that, it's basically in the mission that the white people do it better. Yeah, well, I don't want to give black Americans credit, so y'all was forced to do it. Okay, well, we was forced to do it. The white people made us do it. And if the white people made us do it and they kind of built it up and they were the architects and all this other stuff and you want to get them all the credit, then okay, well, they still did it better than you all also.
Our color.
You got a problem with that?
Don't be rude, Daniel.
No, we're not gonna get along. Kids are honest. That's one thing about kids.
Daniel.
You were.
Yeah.
And I'm David.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
What you think about all this?
I thought you were. Our color.
You got a problem with that?
So they try to use reverse racism. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe that was a genuine question, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was staged.
David.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What you think about all this?
I thought you were. Our color.
You got a problem with
But that is a good expectation and a assumption to have.
that?
Don't be rude, Daniel.
The father probably preferred it. Probably in the mama too.
Now.
No, we're not gonna get along. Kids are honest. That's one thing about kids.
Our color.
You got a problem with that?
Don't be rude, Daniel.
No, we're not gonna get along.
She said we're not gonna get along.
No, we're not gonna get along.
Rude, Daniel.
No, we're not gonna get along. Kids are honest. That's one thing about.
Well, let's see what's going on with this.
An anti-Semite more than anyone else's table. Yeah. And people would sit there and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. Okay. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't.
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. I'm used to it.
These people is crazy. Like I said, dude, the older generation failed black Americans to say, I want to be around these. First of all the stuff that their ancestors done and that they do today. And then it's like, not all of them, because there's a lot of plenty of good people out here. But the ones that are like that, they don't really come out and say that because they're usually typically cowards and weirdos. So, and liars, they get off on that. Like, they're sick.
No, I apologize.
Why would you want to integrate with sick people?
I apologize
on TV
That abuse you and lie to you?
I apologize. You literally.
I thought you said Hamas.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
Sorry, I was talking over that.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
Now, this is the other thing with somebody find me in history. Well, I won't even say that. I would ask the question to people. Are you aware that there are times in civilizations where immigration didn't actually work for that civilization and led to their decay or actual decline or, the end of the civilization? And if they're honest, they'll say yes. I mean, I don't know. You kind of have to, but this is the other thing. Because the people that orchestrated a lot of this stuff is sick and incompetency, it's a projection of their own incompetence and insecurity. So America is supposed to be the number one country in the world doing great things. in theory and throughout its history. With the propaganda and actual real stuff. And then you got people that want to come along and actually mess up a good thing. So you're dealing with haters. The other thing is bringing in all these people that never did it over in their own homeland is stupid because they don't have the habit of it. That's not being xenophobic, even though I don't mind being xenophobic, because if you're telling me that I'm don't want to be around people that I don't think will benefit me and have proven not to benefit me, and when I ask them to do certain things that will help the group, they don't do it, then it's not really a big deal. But the thing is, these folks, why would you let a homeless or a crip from a broken home, this homeless or want to run away, they're basically a runaway. Why would you let a runaway crip who really don't have their stuff together come to your house and then invite Bloods over to your house in the same situation? It's just going to be chaos, which is what we have. Because first of all, you can't really come to a country with your hand out and then act like you the stuff, or that you even got your stuff together, or that you are loyal, or a bunch of other things. But those are the big things, right? I'm looking at a person funny if they defecting. Hey, maybe it's a lot of atrocities, but, and I'm not saying people need to be a hero, but the problem is too many times they'll undermine us and take resources from Black Americans. Some of them don't do it on purpose, or at least not with malicious intent, maybe, but it really don't matter. If it's a negative effect, it's not beneficial. And then they're not even really, they're not obligated or entitled to anything. We don't owe them anything. But look at this.
If you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing.
You're called
stop
an
saying-
you've been called an anti-Semite more than anyone else's table.
Yeah.
And people will
By
sit there
you.
and no, by
Stop doing.
you're
stop
called an
saying-
you've been called an
saying-
anti-Semite
stop
more
saying
than anyone
things.
else's table.
Yeah.
And people will
By
sit there
you.
and no, by me. I never called you an anti-Semite. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying I don't.
I'm a supporter of the Palestinians. So I'm used to it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is,
He said, I hope your people don't go off on CNN. Wow. These are the kind of people, these fake, because this is the thing, they're really barbarians, kind of masquerading as civilized. They doing their best attempt to impersonate a civilized person, but sometimes they break character.
well, I hope your beeper doesn't go off. The thing is
Did
that
you just say I should die?
You should not.
No, I
Did
said
you just say
no,
I should be killed?
No, I
I'm
did
live
not
on
say that. I
CNN.
said, no, I did not.
No, I did not.
You
Look
should
at it.
No,
He-
I
he-
said,
You just said I should be
glitching
killed.
out.
No, I said that. I said, no, I did not.
Accountability.
You
You should not.
No, I said
It's
no.
like,
no, I did not say that. I said, no, I did not. say
repellent.
that.
Hold on,
Did you just
Let
say
me-
I
No,
should
I
be
did
killed
not.
Let me-
on live TV?
I said I hope
Guys,
you
let me just
Please
stop
don't
you.
too sick.
Beeper doesn't go
because
off.
you sound
Stop
big
that right
supporter
now.
Of the Palestinians.
of Hamas.
Guys,
I
let me
said
stop.
Palestinians.
Are you? A supporter
Am I
of
what?
Hamas?
No, of course I'm not.
Palestinians
supporting
are
Hamas.
not-
I apologize.
Are you-
Look, man, they
You
caught up
should
in the
not.
lie
No,
Did you
vortex.
just say I should be killed?
That's
No,
another thing. Like,
you-
I don't think people
you
understand. They can say, hey, it's either true or not. So, if it's not, then hey, no big deal. But if they are, then to me, I'm avoiding people like that because they got the blinders on, the truth blinders. They ain't trying to see it. These people suffer from mental illness like anxiety and things of that nature. I've talked to some. They gone, and it's obvious. And it's like, okay, well maybe you just a hater if you want to be down with these folks, or you just weird.
should not.
No, I
Did
said
you just say I should be killed?
No, I
I'm
did
live
not
on
say that. I
CNN.
said, no,
But
I
I
did
don't
not
have the
say
same mindset the one that hangs
Hold on,
around
hold on,
here.
hold on.
though.
Let me.
No, I did
Let
not.
me. Hold
But
on.
hey, it's a lot of people from my neighborhood that did a lot of different things.
Live TV.
I said I hope
Guys,
you don't.
let me just stop.
You said you
Let
hope
me-
my beeper
let
doesn't
me-
go
let
off.
me
You
stop
think,
that.
you think they
Okay,
one thing and they
Palestinian,
be something
Hamas.
else.
Guys,
I
let me
said
stop.
Palestinian.
Are you?
Am I what?
Well, I will say the
Okay,
people that don't fight, the people that soft, hey, they easily turn.
Palestinian.
Guys,
Hamas?
Guys,
I
let me
said
stop.
Palestinian.
Are you?
Am I what? No, of course I'm not.
Ryan,
supporting
are
Palestine.
not-
Then I
Are
apologize.
you a
Ryan.
Then I
racist, violent
apologize.
person
Then I
inciting
apologize.
violence against me?
Ryan, that is completely.
No, I apologize.
That
No, of course I'm not.
Ryan,
supporting
are
Palestine.
Then I
not.
apologize.
Are you a
Ryan.
Then I
racist, violent
apologize.
person
Then I
inciting
apologize.
violence against
He
me?
did apologize, but isn't sincere.
Ryan, that is completely.
Then I apologize.
Good
That is
job, CNN.
completely
Somebody said that's
out
disgusting.
Block. Say the Muslim guy
You
should
know
be
that.
blown
Then I
up.
apologize.
On
Then I
TV.
apologize. Then I
Don't say
apologize.
then I
Wow.
apologize.
Yo,
You literally.
Fabian, I
Don't
apologize.
say then I apologize.
Listen,
You
basically,
literally.
let's say
I
it,
thought you
dude.
said
This dude
Hamas.
is
I
he's
You
apologize.
didn't
not a
think I
tough
said
guy.
Hamas.
Yes, I
I said I
did.
supported
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you hear
Rudy
Hamas.
Giuliani said this
No.
yesterday. So
He
you're a
threw a
great
rock.
guest
He the
to
type
be here
All
to
right.
defend
that throw
Rudy
rocks and
Giuliani.
hide his hand.
Hamas.
Yes, I
I
did.
said I supported
Yes, I did.
Palestinian
Yes, I
rights.
did.
Why? Because when you hear
What's funny
Palestinian,
is
you hear
Rudy
Hamas.
Giuliani said this
No,
yesterday,
because-
so you're a great guest to
Listen.
be here
All
to
right.
defend
I
Rudy
told
Giuliani.
myself
Give me
I
one-
wasn't going to
give me-
entertain
give me one
nonsense
sec.
today, and so at this
This
point,
is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Okay.
Here's what
2024.
I will say.
Forget the
Here's what I-
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't
That's-
say
that-
that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go
a-
off?
They
What
just
are you
talking all
doing?
over the black girl.
Guys,
She don't get
Why
no
did you say,
respect.
what does beeper mean in
Here's what
24?
I will say. So at this
This
point,
is what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is America in
Okay.
Here's what
2024.
I will say.
Forget the
Here's what I-
racism.
That's right.
It's I should
That's
This
die.
is America in
I didn't-
2020. That's
Here's
right.
what I will
Look at
say.
this.
This is
Point,
what we're in
I
now.
can't
This
do
is
this.
America in
Okay.
Here's what
2024.
I will say.
Forget the
Here's what I-
racism.
Sad.
That's
It's I should
That's
die.
right.
I didn't
That's-
say
that-
that. You
You
should
said,
die.
what does beeper mean? Don't give me your
I
fake
did not say
ignorance.
you should
Guys,
die.
Why did you say
guys,
with my
give me-
beeper
give me
go
a-
off?
What did you mean?
What did you mean by the beeper?
So what did you mean?
What did you
No,
mean by
no,
the
no,
beeper?
no, 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 no.
No, you didn't. You said, I hope your
Listen,
beeper
but
doesn't
like-
go off.
Ryan, stop talking.
At least
sorry.
have the guts to support
I'm
your
so
racist
sorry.
comment.
Hang on.
I'm so sorry. This is why yesterday's rally
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Don't call us
and
Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy as
This
a
is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who ever say Donald
As
This
a
is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because this is why yesterday's rally
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Don't call us
and
Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy
This
as a
is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because
The brown guy. You
I
ain't
didn't
brown.
ever say Donald Trump was Hitler.
So he's
Do
brown
you know who
also.
sat on a
And they
stage-
be
stood on a
racist as
stage
hell.
Yesterday This is why yesterday's rally
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy
This
as a
is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't.
Then the other
Yesterday's-
thing, like,
yesterday-
who the hell and this is white people orchestrating this. Sick white people at the top orchestrating this. They bring people over here that they act like they if they get talked about it's not like you should be civil, but they try to act like they entitled to something over here, and they only thing they did was flee their country and apply for a job and benefits, and we know they got assistance when they try to lie about it and say they picked themselves up by the bootstrap. So they hustling. They know they undermining, which is why their countries in a lot of instances is the way they are. They don't know how to lack of teamwork. And undermining.
Today's rally
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Don't call us Nazis, but I'm going to
outrageous.
threaten the brown guy
This
as a
is
terrorist
why.
and kill him.
Because I didn't ever say Donald Trump was Hitler. But do you know who stood on a stage yesterday and said, I want to come to the Nazi rally? I don't have to make up words and call you something. You're saying it for yourself. And what you just said
Kamala
right
Harris
here,
is a pimp
apologize,
handler.
but I will tell you, I don't accept that apology, and you didn't even say
That's
it to
fine.
me.
I didn't say it
That
to
was
you.
disgusting. But I can be offended when you don't even say it to
That's-
me. I'm not Puerto Rican, but I was offended by what he said
Okay.
yesterday. And I'm offended that the former president and potentially future president would allow it and go for 12 hours and not say, I don't care. Because you know what? When Kamala Harris put out statements about switching up opinions, it wasn't good enough for
Why are
Republicans.
you looking at me?
Because you said it.
Why
'Cause
don't you
I'm-
take this back a little?
He said the Gurdursky is finished on television. He should be with something like that, making a statement like that. Let me see what the comments say. LOL finished, maybe on CNN or any of the other left wing news channels. He would easily find a home on places like Fox News, Max, and others. They said he was funny. I mean, I guess it was kind of quick with it, but it was kind of. I mean, but it was kind of like, dude, you kind of proving his point. Like I said, these folks is crazy, man. Then they bring their stuff over here. So Palestinians, get this, man. Palestinians, some of them, they got a beef with Israel, and instead of they leave Palestine and come over here, and then instead of them going back and helping out their family, right? They actually asked the American government to help them, and they whine about it over here. And it's weird too because it's like, well, they know that America and Israel is allies. So, like I said, man, these folks just want a better. They just want comfortable. I think John Henry Clark said it. They just want to be comfortable in slavery. They want more, basically butter biscuits than other people, and they want to have a group that they can actually look down on and talk down to. These people are sick. Anybody like that, black, white, or whatever, is sick with that mindset. But we got people like that on this planet. To me, it's like an illness because it's basically based off of insecurity and just foolishness.
Hassan, for what was said at this table. It was completely We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last.
So this lady is pretty, but she kind of, to me, her voice don't really sound authentic.
We're back here, and before we get started, I want to just address what happened in the last segment. And first, I want to apologize.
Well, I know she ain't authentic because some of the questions she be asking, and she like a Democratic shield, it seemed like.
Apologize to Mehdi Hassan for what was said at this table. It was completely unacceptable. When we get this discussion started, you'll see that Ryan is not at the table. There is a line that was crossed there, and it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to us at this network. We want discussion. We want people who disagree with each other to talk to each other. But when you cross the line of a complete lack of civility, that is not going to happen here on this show. It's a heated time. We're in the middle of a political season. We are 8 days from a presidential election. But we can have conversations about what is happening in this country without resorting to the lowest of the lowest kind of discourse. Want to address that. And I want to apologize to the viewers at home because we want to be able to hear each other. We want to be able to talk to each other. And we plan to do that in this next segment.
That was crazy.
This far in the election with 10 days, 9 days, 10, 11 days to go.
She's absolutely
Says a
desperate.
gay black
I mean, she's
man.
out here bringing
A
every
gay
celebrity
black
she
man
can to try to
leaving
get
and
any kind of
taking
endorsement because she knows that she
unnecessary
doesn't have
jabs
any
at
substance
Beyonce.
herself. She brought
dishes her
Beyonce out
for
tonight.
endorsing
And it's like
Kamala
Beyonce
Harris.
doesn't need to be doing that. Beyonce.
Black Harris campaign, the strategy.
What I noticed is a lot of black people trying to hustle the right wing to be talking basically puppets for them.
Harris campaign, the strategy they've gone for this far in the election with 10 days, 9 days, 10, 11 days to go.
She's absolutely desperate. I mean, she's out here bringing every celebrity she can to try to get any kind of endorsement because she knows that she doesn't have any substance herself. She brought Beyonce out tonight, and it's like Beyonce doesn't need to be doing that. Beyonce needs to be focused on trying to keep her album on the charts because it's already gone.
Xavier, Bryce Hall, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time. Best of luck to both of you. Come back and visit us again. Harris campaign, the strategy they've
Says
gone
unnecessary
for
jab.
this far in the election with 10 days, 9 days, 10, 11 days to go.
She's absolutely desperate.
I thought the
mean,
gays
she's out
love
here
Beyonce.
bringing every celebrity she can to try to get any kind of.
I guess it's fake. Well, at least in his case, I don't know. Maybe he never did. I don't know. This is a guess who just got fired on by CNN. Yeah, he should get fired for that. Oh, I wonder if he's trying to say that they can't see these folks they sick. Like I said, even if it's a finesse, they still sick. This was ridiculous, man. Man, these people will do anything for money. Money and cloud of status. Attention. These people need attention so bad. Plus the bills gotta be paid. Gotta keep that lifestyle. They'll sell you out. This country isn't based off of merit like they try to claim. People can work hard, but even in Napoleon Hill, they can grow rich. He said, basically working hard. You don't even worry about it. It's about basically who you know and your thoughts. So Kelly Ronan out there got the tie, the over big suit, looking like something off of Beetlejuice, the character off Beetlejuice that don't talk. It's ridiculous, man. But hey, I can be wrong. I can be off. Maybe it's a nice suit. Say a Lambo was dusted by a Cybertruck. Maybe that Cybertruck got a little bit of a jump. Yeah, look at the Cybertruck got it. This is Leonardo DiCaprio, who frolics the world on private jets and massive yachts, endorses Kamala because he cares about climate change. He says Hurricane Milton was an unnatural disaster made by global warming. He's an actor, by the way, and he might be paid to say that. I remember when Leonardo DiCaprio was like 15 years old on one of those 80s shows, those family shows. What was the name of that show he was on here? It wasn't Family Ties. Growing Pains. Growing Pains was the show. Back in the day.
Earlier this month, Hurricanes Helene and Milton devastated parts of Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. Families lost homes, livelihoods, and loved ones to some of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes ever recorded. These storms have done an estimated $100 billion in damage, and make no mistake, these unnatural disasters were caused by climate change. Donald Trump continues to deny the facts. He continues to deny the science. He withdrew the United States from the Paris Climate Accords. He continues to deny the science. He withdrew the United States from the Paris Climate Accords and rolled back critical environmental protections. Now he's promised the oil and gas industry that he'll get rid of any regulation they want in exchange for $1 billion donation. Climate change is killing the earth and ruining our economy. We need a bold step forward to save our economy, our planet, and ourselves. That's why I'm voting for Kamala Harris. She helped lead the most significant climate action in U.S. history, including passing the Inflation Reduction Act.
Whoa, what does that have to do with the climate?
Under her leadership, we set
What does she do exactly?
ambitious targets for achieving net zero emissions by 2050 and building a green economy that not only creates jobs, but also helps save our planet. So check your registration at iwillvote.com and join me in voting for Kamala Harris on November 5th, because we cannot afford to go backwards.
Your own name. Do Okay, now I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that. Because it's about all of us. It's about all of us. And listen, I have fought my whole career to put the people first. It's about all of us.
Is this
And listen,
AI?
I have fought my whole career to put the your own name. Do that. Because it's about all. Each of you to shout your own name. Do that.
Man, I do sales
Each
trader.
of you to shout your
I
own name. Do that.
You know, I
Each
see
of you to
these.
shout your own name. Do that.
Man, you get into this sales trader, you'll see that a lot of this stuff, man, people just get laid and you really just running, you really just running with whatever you want to believe.
Because it's about
Most of
all
the
of
people
us.
just
It's
hypnotized,
about all
basically.
of us. Because it's about all of us. It's about all of us. And listen,
That was weird. Is this
now
real?
I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that.
Like, huh?
Because it's about all of us. It's
What about
shout your own
practice?
name.
These people running for
You just shout-
president and they just freestyling out here. That's a sad state of America. Sad state. Couldn't rely on the white supremacists like the ones that's getting punished by these folks. They, even though they're supposed to be so smart and all this stuff, they dropped the ball.
Shout your own name. Do that.
They was lying to themselves. They still are.
Because it's about all of us. It's about all of us. And listen, I have fought my whole career to put the people first.
To put the people first. Let's see.
You can't call that a fucking strike. No way. That's insane. That was to his chin. Oh my God, you fat fuck. Oh, that's the worst call in MLB history. Is that Martha Stewart behind the... Is that Martha Stewart? Martha Stewart gets in here. What the fuck?
Martha Stewart there, you know it's lit. Alright, what food's up today? I don't have any words yet, but for now, I just say God is faithful. Do Boosie be drunk at these games? With the gays. Oh, okay. Doing the swag surfing.
Now he's so cool, calm, and collected. How are you right now? Can you describe that final play?
Nothing but God, man. Nothing but God. Without him, I don't even think I'd be playing this week. But man, all glory to God.
You talked about not knowing whether you'd be able to play. How difficult was it for you?
America is a country that's becoming godless, which is not really a good
expect you
thing.
to talk either. You were quiet, and I don't expect you to talk about it, but now I don't expect you to talk either. Yeah, you and Barack couldn't talk before when you left us in the hands of old Joe, old Joe. But now you got all this conversation. Now you got so many suggestions. Now you're just full of ideas. Well, look at you. Just jumped off your high horse to come down here and tell the poor people what it is and what it's gonna be. No. No. You get back on that high horse, ride it right back down to some island we can't go to with your Richard Branson friends or whatever. Hang out with Mark Cuban and Leonardo DiCaprio and plan how you're gonna defuse this whole Diddy situation when the tapes come out. Yeah, go do whatever rich, elitist, detached, formerly black people do. Go do that. Stop wasting our damn time.
Yeah, well, he read about that elitist thing. A lot of these, well, I won't say a lot of these, but some of these people that become celebrities, they say you don't have to be the most talented to be a celebrity or successful. I've been in situations where managers have been sleeping with people and were in the position they were in because of that. But the thing is the black people that want to be elitist, they'll sell out the group and for more trinkets and a better status in society. But to me, it seems like they still know that they ain't on no equal footing with no white people, and the thing is, they messed up in the head to me because they know it's wrong and it's kind of evil, and you have to be deceptive.
Pace of change, and I get it. It is reasonable to be frustrated. We all know we have a lot more work to do in this country. But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as
They want us to take a
let
bad
me
deal.
warn you, because you're fed up.
So
For
because you
Donald
fed up,
Trump,
you shouldn't make a change. I do that because I gotta get out of here. But it was one more thing I wanted to, well, a couple of more real quick. This right here, I thought this guy gave some great answers. Yep. And that's a great answer because look, they came over here for jobs. They got jobs, and then as a result, they were able to get skills. Now it's time for them to take those skills back home, help out their homeland, so we can have a better planet. So I don't know if this is real or not. Like on a mainstream news channel. Another thing too, I want an advantage over somebody that came over here legally, illegally, and a refugee. Because my ancestors have the roots here. My ancestors helped build this country. I helped contribute to this country and add to this country. Taxpayer, tax contributor. These people are Johnny come latelys, what they hand out. No offense, but you can be here to work, but you're not. Yeah, it's a lot of places I want to work at, but I'm not entitled to a job there. So I can't even get some of this stuff. If I apply for this stuff, I can't get some of these benefits. But these refugees, ridiculous. This is disgusting. That really you got to blame a lot of people, and we all have to take responsibility. So take my responsibility also, and do what I can to be a productive member of society, and just try to be an example and try to come up with solutions. Well, for sure, this world is a economic world. You need to be producing stuff, and the schools ain't teaching you how to produce, market, nothing like that. So it's a waste of time. They got health care and everything. So they get money, they get food, they get housing. As people, like I was working with this refugee that was in realty, and he's from Nepal, and these people was able to get houses. Man, don't let these people lie to you about they pull themselves up by the bootstraps. You can pull yourself up by the bootstraps. To go, show your folks how to pull themselves out of by the bootstrap.
It's true. Some Ukrainians who have arrived in the United States since Russia's invasion of their country may apply and could qualify for benefits like supplemental Social Security for a limited amount of time.
What was this on though? I don't know, because this kind of looked suspicious. But and sorry, I didn't have that up there. Let me see here. There was another one here I wanted to show.
This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate KARE 11 shows David Matori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine.
Matori told NBC affiliate KARE 11 he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion, adding the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshack. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment.
Man,
hate
look at
speech, and
this.
the victim called police 11 months since he and his
That's
wife moved
crazy.
in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshack. Court documents show the victim called police 19
First of all, that's why you don't live next to them for real like that. And if they giving you a hard time, get up out of there. The hell away from these crazy folks.
KARE 11, he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion, adding the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in.
To me, that's low self-esteem. Like, you want to be next to a person that don't like you so bad. It's gotta be mental illness or something, man. What the hell? You see the police saying on it, they racist too. It would appear. Get the hell out of there.
They've been living a nightmare next door to John
Living next door to white people ain't that big of a deal.
Shawshack. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Shawshack suffers from mental illness. Shawshack has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others. Allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect.
See, they like to ambush people when they got the upper hand. They don't like to just go to war. Because if they wanted to go to war, you could just go right into a gang neighborhood and just pull up. If they really wanted to go to war, that's why that's the other part of their sickness. It's underhanded, like I said, deception, cowardly, sneak behind your back, real weird.
Force with the suspect in this case is
nobody would want to be around a person that they knew was like that. That's why they got the lie.
high.
That excuse sparking community outrage.
We have to take violent criminals off the street.
Right.
So I'm not a police officer. I don't know how that gets done, but I know it needs to get done.
Police say Shawshack rarely leaves his home,
don't even
and the
wanna do their
department has not
job.
set an arrest date.
We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation, but we will ensure the community will be safe.
Matori
No,
says
it
he
won't.
feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed
Somebody
the
already
most.
got shot.
If you're
and y'all didn't respond
But
the
we
other
will
times.
ensure the community will be safe.
Matori says he feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed the most.
If you're saying you're scared, what does that do to me? You know, like you have this body armor, you have the professional training.
Dana Griffin, NBC News.
Dude,
Thanks
sell
for
the
watching.
house.
Stay updated about.
Really? Man. You can't even share this for some reason. It says, how does an Indian woman who immigrated here teach their children how to be black? Kamala Harris is merely imitating blackness. If this is the new goalpost, lineage is the sole criterion. Free men forever. Now, Shannon Sharp, he pretty much already kind of admitted
And pledge Alpha Kappa
to
Alpha.
me, from
Those-
what I heard, or just reading into it, that he'll sell out, for a bag. And I mean, this lady is not. The emperor has no clothes. She's not a black woman. She was raised by an Indian single mom, for what she said. So there's no where the blackness come from culturally.
And Pledge Alpha Kappa Alpha. Those are some of the lessons that I've learned.
Black people and these people deceivers also can't be so, and they'll settle for less. Can't be so. It's basically like cheap and whores to just because somebody go to your school don't mean they like you. We do business in the hood. People do business with Arabs and Asians that they know don't like them all the time.
From my mother, and I try to also share with people, right? Which is the beauty of community.
And that's a technique she does, shaking her head to get you to agree.
Of community, and it's the way
She does a lot of things with her hand. Now she has studied some black
and
people,
it's the way I am, right? Which is, the children in my life, whether they be my own or my godchildren or whomever, right? That it's a collective responsibility that we have.
Did you know you were different? I mean, were there a lot of people in the community that looked like you and like your mom, or did your mom tell you were different?
Did you know you
my
were
mother,
different?
I am, right? Which is, the children in my life, whether they be my own or, my godchildren or whomever, right? That it's a collective responsibility that we have.
Did you know you were different? I mean, were there a lot of people in the community that looked like you and like your mom, or did your mom tell you were different?
Well, my mother taught us to, and everyone in my growing up, they would tell all of us kids that we were special. Okay. I don't think we were particularly special.
Right.
But they told us we were, and we believed.
Right.
But
right. Right.
But they
right.
But they told us we were, and we believed them.
Yes.
We believed them. I think that's such an important part of what we can all do for the children and the children in our lives. And but my mother raised 2 Black girls to be proud Black women. Back to music.
What?
One of the soundtracks
Really?
from my childhood was, You Are Young, Gifted, and Black. And that's what it was.
Maybe. Don't sound likely. Don't sound likely. Don't sound likely at all. I saw this on here. I thought, Fat Joe should have never said Latinos went 50-50 with hip hop. So that kind of tanked things. But Fat Joe, his interview with Shannon Sharp was a pretty good one. His dropping some gems. And Fat Joe, I think he did a good job right here. But the audience, man, these folks don't listen to hip hop, man. And don't let white folks fool you like they really know. It's only a few that really even know what they be saying.
New York City.
It gotta be something real simple and catchy and popular.
If you love the Yankees, make some noise.
That's just my opinion. No man's right or wrong. It's not meant to be positive or negative. Just a statement.
I got 100 brother, I'm from New York.
Crowd blinging.
I'm from New York.
Who is this?
We from the home
That's
of
what
the Yes, I'm from New York.
Who is this guy?
Brother, I'm from New York.
Yeah, but I hate hip hop.
Man, I can see that this Moses ain't a cutie even. He got to
Oh yeah, I love this song. They don't love this song. They don't do that. I seen that Adam Sosnick dude. That dude is one of the fakest dudes. I seen him on one of the broadcasts and somebody had played Ether and he's like, "That's Kumo D." No, he said LL Cool J. Like what, man? And the other dude said it was Ether, but that dude he ain't what he's not what he appeared to be. He's definitely not no real friend of blacks. Adam Sosnick is a fraud. In my opinion.
Brother, I'm from New York.
But he definitely not. He definitely outside of the culture for sure.
I'm from New York. We from the home of the terrorists. Yes, I'm from New York. I got 100 brother, I'm rich. I'm I'm from New York. And this is how we
Crowd was
Man,
playing
I
Joe.
can see that this Moses ain't a cutie, even he got his head blown up. And I was just about to find God, but now that Mace is back, I think I'd much rather find him. And
Hell,
Can you explain the Donald Trump's history with blacks? Where did this come that all of a sudden? I mean, it's been like this because a lot of people used to say, I'm Donald Trump of the ghetto because he was. I mean, for a lot of blacks, not all, but for some blacks, he was. Madam VP, whether we want to admit it or not, he's revered by some blacks.
But here's the thing. The question for everybody, should he be president of the United
he was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The question for everybody, should he be president of the United States?
Okay.
Right?
That was a good
That's
answer.
the question. Should he have the ability to sit behind the seal of the president of the United States when he says he wants to terminate the Constitution of the United States? You know what that would mean? In the Constitution of the United States is your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizure, your Fifth Amendment right, your Sixth Amendment right to an attorney.
Well, a lot of
Right.
rights gonna be gone. The First Amendment.
But the First Amendment, the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Look, I'm in favor of the Second Amendment.
This is the person that works with other people to try to censor people.
I don't believe we should be taking anybody's guns away.
Yeah, I have seen where she said that she would do that.
Blacks for Trump.
That's kind of cool. See,
Mhm.
nowadays you really got to question like, is this real? I have to look
They
into
feel
this.
that Trump is better for the.
I'll research this, but yeah, hopefully this is I just gave a perspective that might be something for folks to think about. Oh, let me see here.
A rumor that I was going to be in November 1974, while still at Howard, I heard a rumor that I was going to be blocked from promotion and tenure because of my views, not because of my academic work. And I went immediately to the Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Marion Mann, and I asked him, I said, Dr. Mann, I hear that I am going to be blocked from promotion and tenure because of my views. And Dr. Mann responded, to be frank with you, Dr. Welsing, this paper that you wrote, and I said, the Crest Theory of Color Confrontation, he said, yes. He went on to say that it did not make sense for me to say that white people were envious of black people because white people lack skin pigmentation. And we went on from that point. But let me make one correction. My theory does not say that whites are inferior to blacks. I don't say that. I say that whites feel that they are inferior because they cannot produce skin pigmentation and because their status as, I say, a variant of albinism is genetic recessive to blacks, and they can be genetically annihilated by non-white people, that this is what causes that sense of inadequacy, that they have built a total behavioral system that is a compensation. White supremacy is a compensation for a sense of white genetic inadequacy.
You have been fired, in fact, because you had the temerity to say, theoretically, what you said.
Well, let me just go. I look at that particular case. There's the case of Dr. Rubin, who the students had charged that he was negligent in his duties towards the student body. Now, all these charges have been washed away, but this was essentially, as I understand it, what happened. They alleged that he had done a couple of things that some people had said were racist, and also that he had been negligent in his responsibilities. Well, when that happened, all of the newspapers that are white owned and supported went to his defense. How dare Howard University remove this individual who was an anti-apartheid, meaning anti-white supremacy, anti-racist, took an anti-racist position in South Africa, that this man has, in quotes, demonstrated his interest in Black people or non-white people. Now, I just looked at that case in this way. Here is an individual that, as far as the media in the District of Columbia is concerned, they defended this man because he had taken an anti-racist, anti-apartheid position in South Africa. But there's Francis Welsing, who has written a paper and a theory on white supremacy, has to be dismissed from the same institution because I consider myself a counter-racist, a person who is moving against an unjust and negative force of white supremacy. But I have to be dismissed because I wrote a theory that was against white supremacy. But an individual who is classified as white, who took a position, so-called an anti-white supremacy position in South Africa, he is defended as being someone who should be at a Black institution, defended at least by the media. Do you see what I'm saying? Because one of the papers in Washington, the Evening Star, in an editorial said, well, apparently Howard University has a small group of racists, meaning Black people who are supposed to be against white people, you know, faculty and students who are anti-white, and now it's time to weed out all of the other Black people who have an anti-white position. Now, this is said in a city, weed out all of university has a small group of racists, meaning Black people who are supposed to be against white people, you know, faculty and students who are anti-white, and now it's time to weed out all of the other Black people who have an anti-white position. Now, this is said in a city in which there are two major white universities who have very, very small Black student bodies and very, very small percentages of Blacks on their faculty. But there's no examination or no gross criticism of the white dominance and presence at the two white institutions, but let's weed out if there are other Black people who in any way can be looked at as being against whites, well, then attack that Black center. And it's a lot of chaos and confusion, but I think that if it is understood the dominant dynamic in this area of the world, the dominant dynamic that is going on throughout the world is white domination. I don't think that anyone can refute that. The persons who have the power in the world today, all of it is in the hands of people who themselves classify themselves as white as opposed to non-white. That is where the power is.
Well, you know, with Frances Cress Welsing, she was pretty back in the day, and you know, she was really a really elegant speaker, really articulate, really could knew what she was talking about. So her words just live on. You know, looks like and it's kind of weird because it's like it's to me it seemed like it's just wild. Like it's a lot of Black people just like, hey, we don't want to acknowledge this, and we don't want to do our own thing to get away from it. It is take economics also. Now her theory, I'm sure is true in some cases. So, you know, she's a big figure in helping move Black culture forward. Whether she get credit for it or not, or whether she'll be more popular, you know, after her heyday. Because pretty much every Black person should know Frances Cress Welsing. So I don't know. It's weird. I didn't learn about her really until I was an adult. Would have been useful as a kid. And then on the red Sprite storms, I did see where it looks like they are real. So that's pretty cool.